Morning, this is Allison Manila, your Focus Life coach. I wanted to talk to you today about a childhood game that I truly enjoyed. The game was Double Dutch. Anybody remember that game? It was a wonderful jump rope game where two people would swing two ropes and the jumper would have to get in. And I remember hearing the tip, tap, tip, tap, tip, tap, tip, tap, as the ropes would just hit the concrete one after a time, one after each other. And the jumper would be at the side waiting, waiting, waiting for just the right moment when the ropes would provide an opening, and then you would jump into the middle, and then you would start with your rhythm and your cadence, jumping from one foot to the other to keep jumping within the ropes. I loved the game. I loved the challenge of it. But the thing that I remembered was that sideline, that waiting for that tip, tap, to just get right to the right place so I knew exactly when to jump in. The reason I thought about it today is because I feel that that's where we're at right now. So many of us, there's this degree of global anxiety where we're all standing at the side listening to the tip, tap, tip, tap, tip, waiting. When do we jump in? When do we jump into our lives the way we used to experience them? Is it now? No, is it now? And we'll wait another month. I remember when this pandemic first started, I had made some decisions, business decisions, and I said, well, they're very temporary. It's going to last a month or two, and then I'll jump back into my life. I had to make these side shifts. And here we are in September. And this was back in April, those decisions were made. And the question is, well, do I go back to what I used to do now, or do I still maintain these adjustments? So much indecision, working with people, should I send them to school? Should I keep them home? Should I vote Biden? Should I vote Trump? Should I stay? Should I go? Should I mask? Should I not mask? Back and forth, all these decisions, all these life-altering, life-changing decisions. And people, frankly, they have this decision fatigue. We all have decision fatigue. We're tired of worrying and speculating. What if we make the wrong decision? What catastrophes could come upon us if I voted one way and it should have been the other way, or if I sent my kids to school and I should have kept them home, or if I went out without a mask and I should have had a mask on. It can be overwhelming. It can be super stressful, this decision fatigue. I've met people who have basically made the adjustments for the pandemic and are wondering, can I now adjust those adjustments and maybe ease back into my old life? And others have made the definite decision, okay, I'm not even going to change anything I'm doing until 2021. Well, whatever your decision, I'm just here to tell you that decision fatigue is terrible. It's a terrible way to live. And bringing it back to my analogy with Double Dutch, as I said, the waiting on the sideline, the tip, tap, that was not the enjoyment of the game. That was the stress of, do I get in? Do I get in? But my joy started when I finally jumped in, when I made a decision, when I said, here I go, I'm jumping in. I would jump in, and sometimes I'd have a nice long run. And sometimes I'd jump in and my feet would immediately tangle within the ropes. But guess what? I got a chance to walk out of the ropes and wait for my turn again. That's a nice thing about life. Many of our decisions don't have these final fatal outcomes that we fear. There may be some periods of discomfort if we look back on our decision and realize, oh man, maybe I should have turned right instead of turning left. But for the most part, many of our decisions, we get do-overs, we get times when we could, if you made the wrong decision voting, you get 4 more years, try it again. If you send your kids to school and you realize that this is really not what you want, you could make a decision to bring them back home and redo it again, or vice versa. There's so many things, we just need to make a decision and make the best decision you possibly could. Don't make it based on fear. Don't make it based on feelings. Make it based on facts that are given to you, and do your due diligence, search out, do good research, and figure out the best you can. You know, we do the best we can with the information we have at the time. If we get better information down the road, for most of our decisions, we could revise them a little bit. I'm here to tell you today, the game really only starts when you jump in. That tip, tap, tip, tap, tip, tap, waiting, that's where your anxiety will build, 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 build. Jump in, make a decision, get the support that you need while you're making that decision. Get you the support you need in the midst of that decision. If you're still having fears and anxieties about the decision, you know, do I start a business? Do I not? Do I close my business? Do I keep it going? Talk to people. There are others just like you sharing that same period of indecision. But the game and the joy and the enjoyment of your life begins when you enter into it. These are my words of wisdom for today. Have a blessed day.